this bringing forward the ban on petrol and diesel vehicles by 5 years. What impact will that have?
So transport is one of the biggest carbon emission areas in the UK. It hasn't really reduced over the last 20 years. So we've seen that pretty much stay steady despite significant improvements in engine capacity and engine efficiency. So this really needs to be an area we take a different stance on, because what we've done so far hasn't worked. So it's a really good first step. You need to be having an industry squealing a little, because if they're not making a noise, it's too easy. So I think that hopefully we've got the right balance, that the motor industry is going to have to do something now to make a difference to get these cars on the road.
It's interesting that not all motor manufacturers at the moment have actually got electric vehicles in their lineup. I was reading my car magazine the other day, being a petrol head, and he said shamefacedly in this discussion, and Alfa Romeo, they don't have a single electric vehicle in their lineup. So they are really companies like that are really going to lose out unless they get with the agenda, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And I think it's been really interesting. I went to a recent mobility forum in Paris, where I met quite a lot of the different innovation teams from some of these companies. And it's interesting, they do feel on the back foot when you push them and ask them the question, has Tesla taken you by surprise? They don't want to admit it, but they have, and they now need to catch up. I think they can do it. It's just they need to take it seriously and say goodbye to the internal combustion engine.
And the key to this is actually getting the number of charging points up, and also enabling some of the bigger vehicles to do more miles per charge than they do at the moment. I mean, that's what holds me back from buying an electric car, in that I'm thinking, I'm sorry, but I can't have a car that can only go sort of 150, 200 miles.
So I mean, I started life as a bit of a petrol head, I have to say. My dad was a co-rallying driver, and I've been an electric vehicle driver for 5 years. So I kind of probably took an early step, but I love it. I really do. I genuinely love being able to charge at home. So it means that I don't have to go to petrol stations really very often anymore. The charging network is better. It's doubled in the last 2 years. It still needs to go further, but it's getting there. And I have to say, once you've experienced it, it's difficult to go back. If I have to rent a car now, I find myself being really quite frustrated going backwards.
I'm just wondering how many charging points there are up the M11 and the A11, and I suspect I know the answer, and it's probably very, very few.
Oh, well, it's interesting. And there's now 14,000 charging points in the UK. So they're getting better. But you're right, we still need to invest more in that area.
Quick word about COP26. You know Claire Perry O'Neill. Obviously, she's very angry about being sacked. It seems to be a bit chaotic, and you wonder why Boris Johnson even made the speech today, given the chaos surrounding it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting timing. Obviously, there has been a decision that they need to up the leadership capability to deliver on COP. I think, obviously, Brexit has dominated parliamentary, so I think COP has definitely taken a backseat, and there's a lot of work now to do to make it successful in November. The last successful COP we really had was probably 5 years ago in Paris, when the French government did an amazing job. I think the UK government can step up, but they need to get with the agenda now as quickly as possible.
Now, little birdie tells me that you went to university with Michael Gove. Now, he's a transformational minister. Is it a job for Michael Gove to take this over?
It could be. I mean, we ran a poll on Twitter today, and Michael is coming out one of the top potentials, because you need that credibility. When he went into DEFRA, he definitely made some changes. And you've got to have that statesmanship. So you've got to be able to negotiate with countries all over the world. So he's definitely got some of the credibility you could do it with.
Do you still feel optimistic about this COP? That's a no then.
I feel optimistic that we can pull it out of the bag, but we now need to get on with it. And I have to say, I think David Attenborough coming up today we do have some brilliant capability in this country, whether it's spokesman people or we have some leading environmental research and innovation in the UK. We can do it. We just need to get on with it.